Good morning. Well, I should say good day because you'll be seeing this anytime today. I'm happy. I'm Fran Duval, your host today, and this Tuesday, July 24th, 2018. Half the year's gone. And I'm happy that our guest today is Lynn Keefe, the Director of General Services here at Green Spring, who always has some interesting things to tell us about. Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Good. And you always bring this piece of paper with, good thing you have lots of ink.
Well, we have a big team and a lot of ground to cover. As we always tell new employees, we have almost 80 acres and 2.5 million square feet under roof. So there's always bound to be something going on.
Yeah. And you run it well, may I say.
Well, I'm pleased to be a part of such a great team, and it really takes everybody. So thank you. I thought I'd start with just, some of the projects that are ongoing. Most people have heard me talk about before.
Sure.
The fire sprinkler remediation. This is the work that's going on within individual apartments. It is extending the dry pipe further into the apartment, into a warmer space, a conditioned space as we call it. And they continue to work for a total of about 60 apartments, doing 3 to 5 per week. And the reason for that pace is, one, we accommodate the resident in the guest room overnight because they do need to be out because of the type of insulation that goes in. And then also because the work has to be coordinated with the fire marshal. Mm-hmm. And so we have to coordinate those inspections. So they do 3 to 5 per week, and folks receive ample notice, and it's personally coordinated. Mm-hmm. So that work continues. I'm not happy to say that we're still working on the Grove Terrace door install. I think I spoke about that at coffee with the exec team. There was an error in reading the plans between the contractor and subsequently the inspector. So that is being taken care of, and the door vendor will return. The door was sized too small. So that is being corrected, and we hope within the next week.
And that's the door leading out of the little entrance hall, like we would call a vestibule in a house.
Correct. Across from the elevator, there wasn't that interior door, so that's what's being added. Right. We spoke a little earlier about you said you were keeping an eye on the second elevator in Village Square.
Well, I was keeping an ear with all the noise today.
So I will tell our viewers, this is the loudest part of the project. And you may say, well, it seemed loud last week, but you saw them. The jackhammers are here.
Yeah, I saw them coming in with them while I was there.
Yes, so we do apologize for that disturbance. Unfortunately, that's a part of the project. As I said at our coffee with the exec team last week, unlike some of our other projects that really afford those retired engineers or interested folks to pull up their lawn chair and get their binoculars, this one's a little tougher to see.
No sidewalk superintendents.
It's tough. Now, if you know some folks who live on the back side there, they might have a good view. You might want to, friendly up to those folks and get invited over. But we are trying to capture photos and keep the images out there. There's no one area. Some folks ask, can you cut a hole so we can see? It's difficult because they're working in multiple areas, but we will keep you updated. Their goal is an October completion, and they are working towards that. I think we shared that the myth folks heard was that there was a new road. It's not a road. It really is for more of a path, if you will, for the equipment, because the nature of that project is so far to the rear of Village Square Clubhouse that we would have had to take up the entire entry area with a huge crane that would block up the entrance to be able to access that. So the alternative is you create a road, a little pathway that takes the smaller equipment back there.
And it affected a couple of apartments, but...
That's true. There are a couple that either face, on the front side, they face a green cordoned off area, a staging area, if you will, or that are very much in close proximity, and it may take away some of their patio usefulness out back. All in all, very short time. For those in the back, your wooded view will return, and in the front, the staging area will go
And you
away.
didn't have to remove any trees.
Correct.
Which was really nice because there's a couple really pretty trees there.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's always a priority.
Yeah.
So in spite of the less than ideal weather we're still working on cement repair. Obviously a day like today does not afford itself so that puts us further behind. But the cement repair and then the subsequent striping is ongoing. We've had a few notes from folks that said, oh, you missed a space. There is going to be a second round for some of the lesser issues, if you will, and that will be in the September timeframe. So go ahead and report those. You can call those in. We have a list. I'd rather hear it 2, 3, 4 times than not at all because we think we have a comprehensive list.
Sure.
We're also going to be replacing the guardrail from the security gatehouse to that first stop sign. And that is in contract right now, and we'll be getting that scheduled. It shouldn't be really any interruption to your normal day-to-day, but we'll certainly let folks know. Also, the benches around campus. So we have a number that have been replaced, and we have others that will be painting, of course, weather accommodating, because we're little by little replacing all of the benches with the new models that have 50-year warranties, no maintenance, and wear really, really well. So
good.
Something we were chatting about earlier, and I wanted to make sure I share. So we have installed the Tcoil, or I should say our vendor has installed the Tcoil, in both the Accotink and the theater. And Tcoil refers to a feature of many hearing aids that enhances your experience, particularly in large venues, blocks out a lot of that unnecessary noise. And we've heard from some folks who said, I was at an event and there was this feedback and it occurred because of the Tcoil. We didn't have that before. So I want to assure you that this was not the fault of the Tcoil. And I can say that confidently, in spite of the fact that we've brought our vendor back to test and verify the systems. The Tcoil does not connect in any way to the speakers. It is a totally separate system. Yes, there were issues with feedback, but it has to do with the operation of the mixing board and some of the other controls that perhaps somebody accidentally adjusted, touched. So just want to let folks know, we'll address the feedback, and Diane and her team have done that, but it was not the fault of the Tcoil.
Okay, that's probably good news because we have heard rumors they installed this Tcoil and now, you know, blah, blah, blah.
It was simply coincidental, and for those of you who may have that feature or want to learn more about it, Marie Lee will be sharing more information. I know they've had some scheduled. They're going to be filming so that there will be some information that folks can rewatch if they're interested. So pay attention for that and certainly try it out.
Marie Lee heads up the hearing impaired group. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact title, but that's who she's referring to.
Correct.
To whom she's referring is the correct grammar.
So windows and doors continue. Even in rain, unless it's raining sideways or we have extreme winds, the projects tend to continue. They have to assess on a day-by-day basis with the weather. And you can, project management is communicating out to residents a week in advance, and rest assured we're not going to leave anyone out. Hallways over in Neighborhood 1. So we started in Parkview. They are currently in Grove Terrace, I believe. And just a refresher, if you will, probably at least a year ago, we shared some of the color swatches and the carpet samples at a variety of events. Work, of course, with our experts at Erickson to make sure that the selections are appropriate for the population, for the vision, all of that. Some enhanced lighting comes along with that. And the feedback has been very, very positive. Couple little things that we're still working through. At the beginning, we said until the lighting was fully installed. We couldn't dim it. We're able to do that, and we're still working. It will be tied in with our building control system. Right now, we've had some reports, folks said, oh, it comes off and on, and there are some motion sensors right now that for at nighttime, it takes it down, but it will be better controlled once that's fully integrated.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
So while it's not ideal weather to be outside, we are eager for our new grounds supervisor to start. We've added a couple college students who are working with Dave and making sure that he's got the support that he needs. And we anticipate our grounds supervisor, we hope he'll be starting by the end of this week. So I'll bring him on and introduce him once he's here. But in the meantime, Dave continues to do great work and is really utilizing the college students that are helping out for the summer. Another long-standing project that residents have been patiently waiting for is GPS. And GPS for our community shuttle that will have a screen in each clubhouse that will show you where is it on the campus. If you're like me, you get to the front desk and you may say to the communications specialist there, was the shuttle just here or is it coming? Because sometimes we don't feel like walking. So the monitors will show where is it on campus.
And where will those monitors be?
So they will be
at the front desk.
They will be at the front desk.
Okay.
They will be large 32 to 40 inch screens
Good
that
heavens.
will have a map of the campus. So the project was taken in-house by our corporate IT, and it really is the best answer. They're better than the vendor we were looking at. The refresh time is almost real time. I think it's a 1 second refresh, so that's
Wow.
real time. And so today and tomorrow, we will have that monitor for the specialists who are at the front desk. They'll be looking to see the movement of the shuttle on the screen. So if you're so interested, you might swing
So
by.
it would be a screen like I have on my GPS in the car.
Well,
it will show.
so the image that you'll see, picture a TV screen, actually similar in size to this, that will be mounted near the front desk, and on that it will be a little more identifiable than what you see on the GPS on your device, but it will highlight the clubhouses. It'll have them by name, and the little vehicle will say, Shuttle.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see it moving.
Okay.
So if you get to Village Square and
it just left.
yes, you'll be able to see that you just missed it. And eventually that information, there will be a link. So if you have a smartphone or you're in your apartment and you want to log in, once that fully rolls out, and we anticipate this by the end of August, you'll have that link. Eventually it will be a link on the resident app that will be available. And you can click in your apartment and say, wow, it's way back in the Z lot. I've got time to get downstairs.
That's terrific.
Yes. So if you're inclined,
by
stop
the
by
way,
the front desk.
I just want to, we're almost out of time here, but I want to give a plug to IT because I've used them personally numbers of times, and they are a wonderful group.
They are.
They're kind of back there in the shadows somewhere, but they're very helpful.
They are very helpful.
So.
Always call the IT desk with any questions that you have. Before we wrap, I would just, put a plug in. If you didn't see Coffee with the Exec Team last Monday, and it's going to be rebroadcast, I did a section on the enabling projects, and these are some of the things that need to move before repositioning starts in Town Center.
Town Center,
So Treasure Chest and the Resident Computer Club, we talk about all of that. So if you get a chance, watch that.
Okay. Well, Lynn, this has been, you're just full of information, and I appreciate you coming here today.